Welcome back, everyone. Well, I'm here at the cabin to give you guys a quick cabin update that you requested. Well, it's been really hot here. Been most of this week actually in the 30s or the 40s humidex. So kind of haven't been up to too much. The weather's broken a bit. So there's a few projects that were completed. Let's take a look. It's a bear. It's a dog. Well, actually, it's kind of both. Had a visitor at camp this week. Royce is investigating. Had a black bear come in. So a female black bear, likely, her ears were on the top of her head kind of thing. Maybe about 100, 120 pounds. So I don't know, good or bad. Sometimes I put a bit of seeds for the birds, and this is a bad choice. A young bear came through the other day and sort of finished off the seeds. So yeah, it's moved through. It's no longer around anymore. But yeah, I'll show you a little bit of video right here. So other wildlife around the cabin are flying squirrels. I don't see them that often because they're nighttime creatures basically, but I did see a few nights this week there have been flying squirrels in and around the cabin, rustling around. Turn the flashlight on, you can kind of see them outside, and then what they do is they see you and then they fly down to the ground or another tree. It's pretty amazing. We have the northern flying squirrels here. Did you know, fun fact, they make ultrasonic noises that we cannot hear to communicate, and also I think in a black light, their fur is like a fluorescent pink or something like that. And I don't think they know quite why it's like that. So I think studies are, underway and trying to figure that out. But anyway, pretty cool. So we do have them here. There's about as many of them as I think chipmunks, but you just don't see them because they're a nighttime mammal. The other cute thing we've had around here is a grosbeak. And the grosbeak has a baby. So it's a male grosbeak and it's been feeding its young. Or it's like a female that's sort of begging to be fed. I'm not really sure. The baby, or the other one, if it's a female, I don't know, is kind of brown with some white streaks on its head. I think it must be young, but it's odd. I think that the male is feeding it, so pretty cool. So one of the projects is building a little tiny roof over the propane setup here. Every year, I think there's UV damage to these tubes, and they kind of break down. They're kind of cheap from online, but I always wanted to have a little bit of a roof over this area, so that's what was built. Just a little teeny wee roof there. It's probably more for the birds than anything, but it does protect some of the equipment somewhat. Let's head on down the path now, and we're going to take a look at a new structure over the well. So as you know, we've got a well now here at the cabin and the well house. We're yet to sort of figure out how to store all the plumbing and whatnot. Things will be kind of rejigged from where they were last year, but for now, here she is. It's just a little tiny structure over the well to kind of keep it protected. What we're going to do is the solar panels are going to go on top of there. So basically just sort of shields it a little bit. You can kind of walk in and work on stuff. There is my iron extractor to kind of get rid of the sulfur smell in the water. So yeah, so it stays sort of protected. It's open and airy, not quite finished up through here. We might actually move the pressure tank in here and make this more into a little well house. So this is kind of in process, but I'm going to put some more gravel there and got to do like a little wee retaining wall kind of down here. But so far, so good. I like it. And like I said, we're going to wire in the solar on top of that. So it's not too many things, but I like it. I think it's cool. Show you from this side, kind of the same as the other side. Also prevents people from driving into the well itself. It was just kind of randomly sticking out of the ground, and pretty easy to just back in to do something and not see it. So this is neat. I might put a little, artwork or something on the front of that, little metal work. It'd be kind of cool. There's that. Let's take a look at this. This is a brand new 3,000 watt inverter. So this is basically meant to turn on the 120 volt well pump and run it. It was a little bit too much for that setup, so this is a separate thing for now. Probably could use a few more batteries for sure. So the pump is in the well and sort of brings water into a pressure tank. It's pressurized and kind of comes out the sink, tap rather in the sink. So yeah, this is a 3,000 watt Motomaster inverter. It works great when we're ready to turn on the pump. This can stay on. It just has a bit of a draw that drains the battery, so we leave it off. But when the water runs out, this will kind of flick on, and it'll just fill the pressure tank. So that's pretty cool, and can kind of run anything 120 volts. So got lots of little plugs in there and things like that. So that's really good. And this is the stuff that we got to figure out what we're going to do with next. This is all the pressure tank in its own little, ooh, flies, housing right there. Hard to see right now, but this actually may all get moved up into that little well house there. We'll see. But for now, this, so we could plug the well pump. This is the cable from the well pump that goes down there. Let me bring it into the wash house. This little electrical box had to kind of be put in there. So there you go. So that plugs in there, and then that you just run the inverter and away she goes. And the field she's a-changing. Succession. So one of the projects I'm doing right now is kind of like a bio blitz. I'm going around and kind of cataloging every single plant that I come across in the field right now and sort of dating it like this year. There's been a lot of changes here. This used to be pasture land, and so, you know, there's a lot of like Timothy hay and sort of brome, and here's the brome right there. But there's been a huge change. As you can see, kind of over here, let's take a look. Where this all used to be like Timothy and brome and alfalfa and whatnot, this is now sort of a native species of grass in here taking over. It's called poverty oatgrass. As you can see, it's actually pretty low to the ground. Like it's only about like this tall, and it kind of curls. And then this is a little seed head that comes up all the way through here. And this kind of grass thrives in very, very poor soils. So I'm not surprised that it's kind of taken over. There's still, you know, little pockets of, you know, the pasture land grass that was here and seeded here before. But this grass does far better in the terrible soil conditions around here. So I'm really not surprised to see it taking over. A lot of like strawberries and things like that, obviously it's ground cover. But I'm quite surprised actually the biodiversity now in this field, which is kind of amazing. So it's really awesome kind of restoration project, kind of like letting nature do its thing. A few things are a bit discouraging. There are some pockets of poison ivy that seem to be kind of taking off. I don't really know what to do about that. The deer will probably take care of it. They don't seem to be too susceptible, and they probably enjoy eating it. Yeah, even some of the flowers and that are changing. I still have some milkweed, and the monarch butterflies are coming back for the season. So that's really cool. Pretty soon I'll be seeing some caterpillars on that milkweed. There's one right there. And the choke cherries are looking pretty good, but I think the birds are eating a lot of them. So in the field this year, we have turkey family, and we also have fawns. So that's really good. I was painting the other day, and a little fawn kind of went by bleeding, running like crazy. I have no idea. Nothing was behind it. Don't know where its mom was, but it looked like an early spring fawn. So kind of spots are there, but starting to maybe slightly fade a little bit. Yeah, it's really nice to see things thriving here at the cabin. And there's some little milkweed pods. Certainly, these are pretty good. You can kind of cook them up when they're this small, pan fry them a little bit. Delicious. The garden here at the cabin is a bit of a failure, but there's an onion. And I transplanted actually a lot of my asparagus. So I'm hoping this will actually be an asparagus bed. This asparagus does fine here. So I think that's what I'm going to do, is put more asparagus in this and just have a little asparagus bed in here. It's pretty tolerant to these harsh conditions. Apparently, so is that onion. Thanks so much for joining me today at the cabin for a quick little summer update. Hope you guys are having a great summer. See you in the next video. Bye for now.